Strauss Zelnick is a part of WWE 2K26. Yes, you heard that right. The Take-Two CEO is in WWE 2K26 with a custom entrance, custom commentary.
Strauss Zelnick walking around like a boss.
I mean, they gave him the whole nine. I mean, shebang. We are here, y'all, to go on ahead and discuss this because in a world where monetization, microtransactions have been pushed so heavily on players throughout WWE 2K26, it seems like another questionable decision was made and players are heated. And honestly, I understand it. Now, I will say this, right? Because I did put this out on Twitter. Some people took it the wrong way. Some people knew what I was talking about, but my comments were, I don't hate this because of the entrance. And y'all, I ain't gonna lie, the entrance kind of hard, bro. Y'all see him go in there, the lights off, the spotlight on him. It's kind of cool, you know what I mean? But again, I'm talking strictly about the entrance. I've always tried to make the best out of any character, any DLC that they've added that I don't like, because their entrance motion is in the game. They have different moves. They have different things of that nature that I'm like, okay, you know what? I can actually use this and put it towards something and just try to make lemonade out the lemons that the game gives me. So my apologies if y'all felt that I was on the side of getting Strauss Zelnick in the game. Again, in another world, I don't even care if they get him in the game because it doesn't affect the way that I play. It doesn't affect the things that I do. It's just a free character. And honestly, I still feel like I don't really care. But the reason why we need to talk about it is because of the example that it looks like they are setting, right? Because we still have Oba, we still have Trick Williams, we still have Tatum Paxley, we still have a ton of entrances that are not updated in the game, and we understand that 2K can't get every single entrance updated within the 365 days of the year that they have. They likely have less than that because they need to keep up post support and all that for 2K26 and all the other 2K games that we've seen in the past. So I get that, but my whole point with this is that when you see the CEO, somebody that honestly has no business being in the game aside from it being like a cool little thing for them, there is just people getting upset at that. And again, it's a fair judgment when people get upset at these types of things. The game has been playable this year. I think that there has been lots of positive stuff with the game, but when we talk about the microtransactions and monetization that has been happening with the game, and then you see the CEO in the game with a t-shirt that says the program, like, get with the program. Like, listen, I'm not even gonna make nothing out the message. I'm gonna let y'all do y'all thing with that. I just found it interesting that it says the program. We'll see what that means in the future. But not even a couple of days ago, Strauss was on an IGN blog, I believe it was, and he was talking about how 2K26 for WWE has done so well, which it actually has done better than 25. There has been 7% more matches played this year. So everybody talking all that crap saying that they haven't been playing this game, I think y'all been playing this game because 7% is an increase, y'all, from what we seen in 2K25, and lots of people did like 2K25 too. So again, that is something very, very interesting. But my point with this is that he was talking about how there could be lots of qualities and improvements made to the game and how things could just be better and how they can deliver to players more because they feel that this franchise is being overshadowed by NBA 2K, which that is a massive franchise, but they feel that it could be just as big or just bigger than what it is now. And I do think that that is true. I've had this conversation before with, you know, devs and people that really want to make this game as big as that. But obviously, we see where they're failing in the world of microtransactions and monetization, as that is the biggest thing being pushed, it feels like, in my opinion, this year. And some of that needs to change because we understand that microtransactions is a massive thing in the world of video games. But I do feel that it can take a chill pill here and there from time to time. I understand getting your money, but I also understand that it should feel like a balance between the company and the consumer. It shouldn't feel as lopsided as it sometimes does. So the timing of Strauss saying that and then seeing him in the game is definitely very, very interesting in my opinion. And I want to go on ahead and take a look at the entrance with y'all because the entrance, again, it looks dope. And it's something that I even put on my created wrestler because of how dope I thought that it was. Now, he does have a Frank Sinatra theme song, which, bro, the licensing on that, I'm not sure if WWE 2K's budget paid for that, which again is none of my business. I'm not sure if Strauss paid for that. is none of my business. But all I know is that the licensing money, whatever it costs, it's probably a lot of money for that song, y'all. And some people are already assuming that WWE 2K paid for it, which I probably don't think they did. I think Strauss probably went ahead and took some money and paid for it. I mean, bro, he's literally like a billionaire if I'm not mistaken. So again, it's one of those things where people see this and they're like, bro, really? Did you really have to give him this theme song? Like, but we'll have to see, you know, where this ends up going. I can see why this seems distasteful to people. You know what I mean? I think for me personally, as I stated earlier in the video, it's one of those things, man, where it does not affect me. They're not charging me for them. They're not really doing nothing to the point where I feel that it's something to just go crazy about, just to me personally. But I understand that looking at it from a lens of, you know, the corporate eye or a player's eye where they've invested money into this game and they see that, there's multiple different points of views to this, and it's really how you decide to go on ahead and take it. I'm not going to tell anybody how to feel about it. Honestly, you can feel however you want about it, but this was an addition that we needed to talk about in detail. But now that we've gotten through that, y'all, patch 1.12 has arrived, and we got lots of things aside from Strauss Zelnick. So we also have some persona cards. Roman Reigns got like 4 or 5 different personas. It seems like it has to do in relation to the island last year where Roman had this glowing thing on his arm. Some people like it, some people don't. I will tell you right now,
we don't care.
Let me tell you
We don't care.
Jerry.
yes, exactly what Stephen A. Smith said. That's what we don't care about. Just me personally, I'm not going to use this ever. You know what I'm saying? So that is one thing right there that we have to go on ahead and talk about. And we have the Randy Orton 2015 persona card. We have Lyra Valkyria 2024. Ichiban Hulk Hogan added as well. Bailey 2020. So we have those persona cards that were added into the game, which again, it is a bit of reused recyclable content. We'll have to see what happens, right? Because for me, if you give me some of these persona cards for free, I'm cool with that. I'm just not cool with throwing them in my faction and charging money for them. And we've stated that so many times on this channel. I mean, it feels like every Friday I got to come on here and say that so people know, like, I'm really not on board with some of the stuff that is being done with the content that has already been paid for by people in the past. So again, that is something that I really want to see fixed. Hopefully this is the patch where a lot of these things do get fixed. So we'll have to check that out. One big fix that did not come up in the patch is how the actual custom sliders for the creation suite for the face morphing and all that and the face details was actually fixed. Now, I'm not sure why they wouldn't put this in the patch notes. Again, 2K doing 2K things. This is something that they actually like doing where they, I guess, like people going out there and trying to find out if certain things were fixed. This is actually something that was fixed and people are happy about. It does feel like this is one of the better patches and updates that they've put out because it feels like they took a couple of steps forward and not really any backwards from what I've seen thus far. Now, all of that could change because we have not done our patch review that will probably come at some point next week, but I can only talk about what I'm seeing firsthand. People seem happy about the game right now. People seem like the update is doing things a bit better. There's obviously still its core issues, you know, with monetization and, you know, microtransactions and all that bad stuff. But for the most part, it does seem like the game in terms of the core mechanics with Creation Suite and just gameplay, universe mode and things like that have gotten better. So we'll have to go on ahead and see what happens with the rest of the game. I know that there's still some issues with the online servers that people have talked about and all that stuff, right? And that's the reason why Strauss being in the game, people do feel a certain way about that because on top of the entrances missing, you know, that we could have gotten updated, which people feel like these resources could have gone towards another character or something of that nature, which again, you're not wrong. I'm not sure how exactly that impacts it. I'm not sure when this was mocapped because that's another thing too, y'all. We don't know when a lot of this stuff is mocap. Most of the stuff that we see get added through updates sometimes, like the Blake Monroe, Victory Motion, things like that. Those things were likely mocap before the game came out. They just didn't make it in the game when the game dropped. So that is one thing to keep in mind with all of this as well, right? We don't know when this new entrance was mocap, so I don't want to pin that just yet. But one thing I will tell y'all, I will definitely be using that entrance. I'm just going to put it out there. Rey Mysterio also got a new Persona card. I don't know if you guys remember, but the backlash that 2K received when they put out that Filthy Animals Rey Mysterio when he was supposed to be unmasked and he had a mask with the actual beanie on, I'm like, bro, hold on, this looked crazy. So 2K took the initiative to actually change Rey Mysterio's attire. They still gave him the regular outfit that he had on, it seems like, and they gave him a different mask that he actually wore for actually like a minute or two during a match with Chavo Guerrero in 01, if I'm not mistaken. So that is also something to take note of, because that is a change, right, that they made, something that people weren't expecting, and some people were even asking for the Filthy Animal one still. But I am glad that they changed it, because again, it feels like if you can't do something, then just don't do it. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like they owned up to that. They made the change, and even though that it was something minor where he only wore for a limited amount of time during a match or whatever the case may be, or it was only one match, at least it's something that was changed to just be more accurate. That's, I guess, all we're looking for at this point, just accuracy and just a well updated and polished game. So I am glad that a lot of these updates came to fruition. We're getting more Persona cards. The patch seems good thus far. Just the Strauss thing is definitely the questionable thing out of this entire video. So if you guys did enjoy this content, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to stay tuned to the next one. I'm going to catch y'all. Peace.